G'day, welcome to Art with Alison. Now, I haven't poured for a little while because I recently had quite a big scare when some ultrasound results suggested that I had a malignant tumour, which was pretty scary. I had an operation I went under general anaesthetic a few days ago, and they didn't find, or they found something very harmless that is, it wasn't a tumour at all. So, big relief, so I'm really happy. And I'm still recovering from the anaesthetic, feeling a little bit wiped out still, but I couldn't wait to get back to doing some painting, so that's what I'm about to do. Noises you'll hear in the background, I've got lots of dogs and they're currently chewing on old bones and firewood and various things, and they're likely to snore. Anyway, right now I'm intending to do a diptych. That's two paintings that go next to each other, and they're going to be on these 10-inch by 10-inch canvases. They're lovely gallery wrapped canvases, and let's show you. Shush, 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 please. Shh, quiet. You can see on this one how beautiful they are. They're really deep, and they go back into, just such really good quality. These are French Field Gallery canvas. Okay, so I shall layer my cup. I hope that you are all keeping well and that none of you are being too badly affected by the terrible events happening in the world at the moment. Alright, I'm just going to do a little bit of this. Okay, I'll go through the paints. This one here, maybe a little bit more than that. This is Heraldo white with satin enamel in it. It's mixed approximately, just until I got the consistency I wanted really, but I think it was about 2 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint. And then I added on top of that about a quarter of, see a little, it's like the air bubble or a lump, about a quarter again of satin enamel, the Deco Art satin enamel, pure white. That's these. The reason for this is it can help, well, if you use a lot of it, it creates a cloud effect. Actually, I think I might have too much. And that is where you get it really fluffy where the white is. And I don't want a big cloud effect. It can also just help your paint just to look, I don't know, a little bit more 3D-ish, I think. This one here is the Arteza Silver. I've been fortunate to be able to get a few Arteza paints. It's very hard to get them in Australia. I had to get them through Amazon. And very limited in choice, but this was part of a set of some lovely colours in metallics. And part of that also, just a bit more of that in, part of that was also this one here. What was that called? It's called Arteza Pearl Space Grey. So it's like a metallic black really. It's just gorgeous. So basically I'm going to be doing a black and white painting. One of these will be in virtually kind of black and white, and the other painting is going to be in lots of colours. So just thought I'd give this a try because there's a local art competition that's main title is All the Colours Under the Sun, and then the next title is Why Don't We See the World in Black and White? So I thought I'd have one in black and white, one in colour, And yeah, obviously I want them both to look good, but I want the colour one to really stand out. It's the idea. And this one is Arteza Mars Black. And okay, these paints, the Arteza paints, they're all mixed with Floetrol. And basically I just add a little bit of Floetrol at a time until I get the consistency that I want. It's probably 3 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint. I'd like to have obviously got more parts Floetrol, but I wanted it to be quite thick, and the Floetrol thins it down. So, and this one here is Arteza Pearl White. So these are beautiful. Can you? Let's see if I can show you the consistencies that I'm doing these in. So it's fairly thick. Man on a man leaves a trace for a while. Now often when you do black with the white, the white can take over. She says putting lots of white in. We shall see the densities of the paint can make the paint underneath come up and cause what we call cells, which are like the little round colours that come through the paint colours above. And the densities of the colours often means that if you have black and then white over the top, the black will come through with cells. That's not particularly what I'm aiming for, but yeah, I just want a black and white. It's probably going to be a ring pour, I think. But anyway, we shall see whether or not. I'd like the black to stay black. We shall see what happens. That's the joy of fluid acrylics, is the unknown. And okay, once you do things a few times, you get to understand what it does, and then you can be more predictable. But I haven't done a black and white painting before, so for me this is an experiment. I might do a little bit more of that before going to the grey. I mean the black. So yeah, you can see I'm kind of trying to get it so that if you have I find that if you have like light going through to dark and then light again, it can cause more of a 3D effect sometimes. So that's kind of what I'm aiming for. I think I've probably just about got enough paint already. Maybe a little bit more black. Alright, so I'll just put these away. I'll be back in a tick. put some of the black around the edges to help it to flow. Alright, let's give this a swirl. I'll just give it another torch. Start. Pop the bubbles mainly, the reason for that. So you can see, because I've got the base coat around, it's just sliding along. It's not rolling over itself. Go to that other corner. Get back to the middle. Dog coming through the doggy door. Alright, so now I'm going to look at it, and there's some pretty little cells here, and this here is quite pretty. I think this side is more interesting than that side. So I think I'll go over to this side first, and then that will get stretched out more. I think I'll start off in this corner over here. I'll just let it go over, and then it will latch itself on to the edges, which I might just encourage that over. And then I'll go towards over to here. Off that corner, bring it back, and now this will stretch out. See, this side will now stretch out as I head towards that corner, stretching out those lovely bands. Let that go off there, bring it back to the middle. If I bring it back to the middle, it just helps you to have more control over where the paint goes. Just bring it off this side. Bring that back. And I've got to decide if I want to stretch it out anymore, or if that's enough. The trouble with the black and white, if I stretch it out too much, it's all going to end up grey. And at least here we've got some good bands of sort of black, or it's more like the metallic black, it looks like. I just take that, I'll just centre it up a little bit more. Make it look a bit more even. Have a look, see if I like that or not. Yeah, don't know if I do like that middle. Something about it I don't like, so I'm going to do a little play. Could always do a rect ring pull, couldn't I? I know you should do it earlier on, but no, I won't do that. But I'll just, decisions. Dipping the end of this in some black. Could end up ruining this altogether. I don't know. I think I'm just going to tip it off actually. And stretch these bands out. I don't like my middle bit. I thought the intention was when I was doing that, sometimes when you do it up and up and up like that, you can end up with it looking quite 3D-ish as it sort of comes up. But I didn't really, I don't know what happened, but I don't like it. But when it's your painting, you can do whatever you want with it. Just let that go off if there's enough paint there. What I have thought is I should have like another canvas underneath when you do things like this, then you end up with that sort of thing happening. But I never think of it at the time, or beforehand I should say. Now is this going to stretch out enough? Just lifting it up, just putting it more vertical. Get that end bit off, I think. The end bit that I fiddled with. But you see it's stretching these out. Actually, that's looking wonderful. It is actually making it look more black. Just get that off. Nearly there. It. Yay. Now because there'll be a thicker in depth of paint at that end than this end because I've been tipping it, just need to tip it back a little bit just so that you don't end up with it a lot deeper thickness at one side than another. But I really don't think there was much deepness left. Deepness? I don't think that's a word. Oh wow, there's some beautiful white dots. I'll show you in the close-ups on the sides. Some lovely white dots coming up. Alright, one thing you've got to do with these sorts of paintings is you need to scrape the base of your canvas so that your paint doesn't keep coming down. But what you can do is you can use that to then go over your corner that was lacking paint. And that sometimes works because it's the same colours and the same stripes. But you can also scrape it up off your mat. I always make sure my mat's clean before I start so I can use the paint that's come off. And I will also, when I finish this, I will scrape all this paint up. So I'll end up basically with a dark grey, I would imagine, from these colours. And then that's a paint I can use in another pour. So yeah, paint's very expensive and it's a shame to waste it. Alright, I'll bring you in for some close-ups. Alright, so here it is. Quite pleased with this. It's just simple black and white, which is what I was aiming for. And I think those bands, yeah, I'm quite pleased with those. By having the silver and the pearl white, as well as the white and the metallic grey and the black, the idea was to help it to create kind of a 3D effect, which I think that's kind of achieved a little bit with a bit of imagination. Ooh, go back to focus, please. So yeah, that was quite fun to do. And I'll show you the other side. Go around the corner here. This is on my pool table. No better use for a pool table, I reckon, than drying your paintings. Usually on my dining room table. And here it is on the other side. Oh, got some light reflected there. So yeah, some more of those little white splodges. Alright. So thank you ever so much for watching. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do. And if you've enjoyed the video, please give me the thumbs up. All these things help us in our art journeys. YouTube does take all these things into account when promoting your videos to other people. So if you'd like to help me, please do that. Okay, please take care of each other and yourselves. And I'll catch you again soon. Okay, gee, I like this bit here, that's quite pretty. Okay, thanks heaps for watching. Bye for now.